goal was to shoot it so that the head, the eye, the bill are all sharp, which this one is, and then I just wanted it to melt away after that. Once I kind of saw how they were flying in the areas they were flying through, I was able to change my position to take advantage of it. All right, this is the Great Warbler Showdown of 2020.
Drum roll, please.
I am joined by the great Ray Hennessy. Ray, say hello.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Can they see me yet?
No, I'm going to pull
okay.
that up. That was a secret surprise, so don't ruin it, because we are evolving at levels never seen before on the show.
Gotcha.
Tonight, we will include two things. We will include a live survey, which you guys will take to determine who the winner of the Warbler off is. We will also attempt for the first time ever to have two people on video at the same time. So there's
no way this is going to work.
No, there's a 90% chance of failure. We already had a technical issue with the survey, but fortunately Ray's pretty quick and he threw one together. So
came through.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do tonight, guys. We went through our 2020 portfolio of Warblers. And as you know, Ray is the original founder of the channel. We co-hosted it for years together. He now does a podcast. Ray, what's the name of the podcast?
Wildlife Photo Chat, and it's been dormant. I wouldn't say dormant, but we've been slacking on it for a while. But we have some scheduled guests coming up that we're going to be recording. So it has not died. It still lives on. There'll be some new episodes soon. Okay,
and just so because everybody likes to keep track of what you're up to. You are now running the full-time workshops.
Yeah.
Okay. And just in case people don't make it to the end of the video or read the comments, I would assume that's just all through your website.
Yeah, you got it, man. That's the best place to find everything for me. Just rayhennessy.com.
Yep.
It's all there.
Yep.
Just go there.
Yep. And you're doing some other stuff. Like you've been published recently. Like you did some magazine work with Living Bird.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually in the process now of writing and doing some photography for an article that'll come out next year with Living Bird as well. So I might be doing some stuff with Audubon. That's not locked in yet, but yeah, there's some good things on the horizon.
Yep, busy stuff.
Yeah, man.
Busy stuff. Okay, all right. So we are going to attempt to put up. Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid to do this. All right, my video is down. Here we go. My video is up in the corner, and Ray, let's see. All right, I think we got it. There's Ray Hennessy.
People are like, it's like getting high budget.
Ray, I forgot to tell you that the last question on my survey was whose hair is worse post-COVID.
Oh, I did not add that one.
Yeah,
and that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I know I win beard, but I wasn't sure if my hair was worse than yours at this point.
I don't.
Or, because we're it's pretty rough.
I mean,
right now.
I didn't go out and shoot today, so it's actually decent.
It's not
normally
too bad.
It's just a total hot mess. Yeah.
When I see your Instagram stories, I'm like, yeah, he just literally got done at the beach. You can tell. There's still sand
and it was
out
windy.
Of his hair. Yeah. All right, man. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. Let me close this down. We're gonna go through. We think there's like 27 warblers in this area that breed between the two of us. Ray's in New Jersey. I'm in Pennsylvania, so we get about the same species selection. There's also, we put in any migrants that are, I wouldn't say common, but that we might photograph. So we included like Tennessee Warbler and Wilson's Warbler, even though some of them we didn't shoot, but we tried to, anything that we shot.
In, but
anything we shot, we put in here that wasn't a vagrant. So if it was a West Coast bird, we didn't include that. So basically, if we both shot the same species, the audience will live vote. And then we'll give it like an hour, maybe 15 minutes after the show to wrap up and collect some more votes. And we'll announce the winners on Instagram probably and Ray's Facebook tomorrow. So I think without further ado, Ray, is there anything else you want to jump in before I pull up the
but
screen?
let's just, we talked about this earlier, right? Let's set the stage here. I'm doing this full time. I was out shooting almost every day this year, and I think you actually got to shoot a little bit less than normal, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I for those that follow me on Instagram, I've done a lot of native gardening. For the last 2 years, I've ripped out stuff. Last year, mostly was ripping it out. This year was putting it in. I put it I think 50 native species around the edge of my property. So it took a lot of time that normally I would shoot. And then with COVID, I didn't do as many workshops and wasn't able to travel, which hurt me a lot. So yeah, it was tough. And, I've shot this local area for 7 years. So, I still love to get out and shoot, but I didn't have the challenges like that I normally have. And one of the challenges I had this year, and I think we'll see it in a couple of these slides, was actually to photograph warblers, local breeding warblers on native species. So that was kind of one of my challenges for myself this year, because I like to put a challenge out to myself every year. Mail-in voting.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, there's Stroll. All right. Yep. So anyway, I'm going to pull up the first set. We went alphabetically. Let me just see if I can get the right. Here we go. So this is the format. So the screen you're going to see that pops up now has got me, and we did this so well. I am under my photographs. Ray is under his photographs. It's real easy.
You should have done it the other way, just to mess with everybody.
And then then I've had a chance to win.
Yeah.
I should be like, if this was a golf game, I should be spotted like a couple strokes, because like I said, Ray does this full time.
We could do that.
I'm doing it part time. I feel like I should get like 3 species spotted, but no, this is.
I'd say even more, but
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
So what's up on the screen now? And we'll talk just real briefly about each of our images. Ray, you went with kind of the classic male on a mossy perch. The fact that it's broken and aesthetically isn't perfect, we won't hold that against you.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
I went with the female.
I know. Nice move.
So Bold. I've got the female Redstart there. I don't want to look at the survey live. Does it come up live?
No, it looks like everybody has to hit submit at the end. So I don't think we'll see until the end anyway.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I tried to recruit my my fiance to vote for me, but I'm not sure she's even going to get on here.
I mean, I know you have the survey open on your second screen right now too. So
yeah. I'm taking the survey, right? Like as we go, I probably should. I think I'm going to need it. So I did this as so I have the female American Redstart on the left. Ray's got the male American Redstart on the right.
So nice job. We get to see both species right off the bat. You know, male and female is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Oh, and this is a little different because actually mine is smaller in frame than yours, which does not normally happen.
That is odd. Yeah.
One of the things Ray and I have always talked about, and I don't know that we're going to have any images that we both shot the same day, same location, but sometimes we show those side by side. And it does give you a difference of the style. Ray tends to shoot smaller in frame, more environmental. I try to shoot a little, typically a little tighter and focus a little bit more on like the micro habitat, the things like the perches and stuff like that. Whereas Ray really likes to get wide and shoot the whole environment. So I would say that's typical. It's not 100% all the time, but it's pretty standard. Now the black and white. By the way, Ray wins bay-breasted by default. Ray, I've got your bay-breasted up here now.
Okay.
So Ray, I saw a bay-breasted. I saw a flock of about 5 males. This is a migrating species. So we don't get breeders here, but it's not your greatest warbler in the world, but you take this one just because. The rule was it had to be something we would post on social media.
Yeah.
So if we just took a documentary shot of a Tennessee warbler, the other person didn't take it, that didn't count. So it had to be a legitimate, media worthy share. Black and white warbler. So this is Ray's. I have a couple here, but I'm going to tell you the one we're voting on. I had one on crabapple. This was a beautiful portrait. I loved this one. I was going to put this one in. I went with this one instead. I went Tennessee on this one. So I went with a looser composition with framing leaves in the background. And then Ray, yours is got that backlit warbler breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a few of these this year.
I did, man. Yeah. Once I got one, I was like, oh, this is something I'm going to keep trying. And weather conditions have to hit just right for that to work. You need sun and you need cold. And we had some of that this spring, so it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird. We had a stretch after the warblers came up for you where the temps really dropped.
They did. Yeah.
And I remember you saying like, I can hit this a few days in a row, I think, and keep going out and getting this look. So really nice.
Cool.
All right. So that's the black and whites. The next species up on the list, Ray, you've got a black-throated blue warbler. This looks like, I'm going to call this silver maple. There's somebody out here that's going to challenge me on my plant IDs.
I will not, because I have no clue. I do know it's a maple.
I'm out of order. Okay. So here's my black-throated blue. You know what's weird? I have let me see. I might have a better. Yeah, this is the one I want to go with. So,
because you're picking on the fly here.
Yeah,
comparing, I'd say.
It's tough, Ray. Like it's hard going up against one of the best photographers in the United States.
This is
all right. So Ray's got perched really nicely in this maple tree. The title of mine, I would like it noted, is called The Conqueror.
Oh, yes.
So I would like everybody just to take a look at the stance of my proudly posed.
I was just gonna say he is.
Yeah, I'm selling this thing hard, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's the two. Anything special about yours, Ray, other than it's a mediocre black-throated blue?
I had to. Well, that was actually the first black-throated blue I've ever worked with. Then got like a decent shot, and I actually went. I drove like 3 hours to meet up with one of my students that I work with a lot, Susan, great photographer, and she actually had kind of done the research and put us on the birds, which was great. I was on my own at this point. I had left them in the morning, and it was full sun. Every time the bird would hit this perch, full sun, horrible light, atrocious. I had to stand there for an hour waiting for one cloud to finally come over, and it finally hit, and the bird was finally there, and it worked out. So it was a pain in the ass shot to get, but yeah, other than that.
If nobody watched some of the previous episodes, like songbird photography, Ray and I both enjoy songbirds in overcast light, primarily, not 100%, but
not exclusive, yeah.
In part because you get a longer period of time to shoot. So when it's overcast, you can get a couple hours out of it often.
I like Mark in the comments just changed his vote based on the title alone for the
I thought so. It's a powerful title. All right, let's go on to the next one. We're probably going to be up on black-throated green. This is one, it's weird. This is like I shoot this species more than any species of anything, but this year I shot almost none. And I think it's just because a thing like, there's a black-throated green, I see.
You don't pay attention, right?
Yeah. So, I realized like after a few weeks of shooting, I hadn't taken a picture of a black-throated green. So I got one, he's got an inchworm here. So I went with just clean background, eating a nice worm. You've got a little foreground blur in there, a little framing. Yeah. A little center composition.
Yeah, I shot the hell out of these birds this year, man.
Did you really? Up north?
My God,
like North Jersey?
Yeah, North Jersey. I found, in fact, that specific bird, I think I went back to him, I don't know, probably like 5-6 times with different workshops up there. Just kept going back. He was just right there, hanging out in the same spot, always feeding. Really fun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. All right. So cast your votes for me on the left, Ray on the right.
Yep.
And we're going to get to the next one here, Blackburnian. Now, mine were a little out of order. So I had, let's see, this Blackburnian I did not like. This was a tight portrait. I don't know why that ended up in here. Now, this should be, listen, I think this is going to be a tough one because I think Ray's is one of the best Blackburnian warblers. But when I posted mine on social media, it did really, really, really well.
Yeah, I do remember.
It was one of my most popular images, and a lot of people thought it had this look of like dragon breath, like the warbler, the flame throat and the breath coming out.
Yeah.
Ray, you've got yours in this really delicate native columbine.
Yeah.
Which I am so jealous of.
Yeah, I know, especially you, plant man. Yeah.
Framed really, really nicely in the columbine, and just, honestly, they're both gorgeous. Like, they're both really, really, I don't like to toot my own horn, and I hate to toot yours even more, but these are pretty good Blackburnian warblers.
Well, and I love how different they are too, right?
Not
like very different lighting, very different. Again, you going smaller in frame than me.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, so vote on your Blackburnian. I'll leave this up for a minute because I think this is going to be a tougher one. In the comments, by the way, if you want to put comments about like, hey, Scott, I really love your image. Ray, yours is okay. You can do feel free in the comments just to keep it going.
Only in that direction.
Yeah. If you feel so inclined. All right. Black and white. Blue-winged warbler. I'm out of order. I had two. I had this one in I think that's like some kind of pear tree. And I'm going to go with this one on crab apple. And Ray, you've got yours in a field of flowers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was trying to remember which one I had. Yeah, that one was.
This was pretty good.
It was pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different habitat for them. Yeah.
Very isolated. Yep.
What a bitch to shoot, man. Full sun that day.
Yeah.
Absolute full sun. Found this little pocket of shade. He came in there. working the ground like that. It was really nice. And all the same time, right? There was prairie and what else? There was another species like right in the same area. And I kind of figured the other species were more likely to be like foraging low. And then this guy dropped in. It was like, oh, hey. So
yeah. And on this one, I went with a really tight, you could probably see it on your YouTube.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
I went with a really tight crop on this one.
Showing off the wing.
The wing and the pose. Yeah, he was feeding, and he kind of like swung his head around. And I kind of wish the white background, I didn't hate it. It's not typical. It gives
I think it works fine.
Yeah, it gives it more like a little bit of a high key, but it's much different than the other stuff I shoot. So I kind of liked it just because it was different. And these blooms were just starting to form on the tree. So it was nice. This was early. The blue wings come up a little bit earlier in the season. Yep. So, typically you'll get in my area, you'll get these blooms pretty young on the trees still.
Well, and you know what else is nice about that one? I will give you this compliment. It's hard to get a white background that doesn't like wash out and start flaring over the bird. So getting that lighting, the ratio on the bird versus the background to get it white is a challenge sometimes. Yep. So yeah, it's sweet.
All right. You do have
what do we got next?
Oh, Brewsters.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go to now. These are very different looks. Very, very, very different.
Okay.
Ray went with a very classic, Hennessy here, foreground, background, flowers. Yeah. Really, really good composition. Love the perch. I went behavioral. So this is one of those like, all right, are we voting aesthetics or are we voting behavior?
Because behavior gets points, no doubt.
Yep. Mine's got, I don't know if it'll even show here. It's got a little tiny
I'm waiting
worm.
To see yours.
He's actually like showing it off. He grabbed it.
That's nice.
He swung his head around and he displayed this worm before he gobbled it up. And I don't know if you noticed.
You couldn't have dipped a little bit lower just to get that worm off the leaf.
Well, or put it in the leaf, like in the middle of the leaf. He is kind of on the edge. That did bother me. Yeah, you know how to push my buttons, man. Yeah, that bothers me a little bit.
I was just gonna say because you know how fast that whole thing happened.
Yeah,
it was like in such a flash. Yeah.
One of the things I don't know if you've noticed is so blue wing, golden wing. And of course, these are hybrids. So the Brewsters, we put it in. It's not a specific species, but we added it because we both shot it. Yeah. They do forage a lot on these leaves upside down, and they grab stuff
just like blue wing and golden wing. Yeah,
yep. They forage a lot like that. So I like to show that behavior because it is kind of typical of the way this species feeds. So
I dare say, I think of all warblers, they might be the most fun to watch feed because of that constant upside down and all that stuff. Yeah, it's really fun to watch them.
Yep, I would agree. All right, let's get into the next one. So that was Brewsters Canada Warbler. Oh God,
you better win this one.
I didn't shoot that. Mediocre. I didn't shoot that many. All right, I had 3 options, but I always put my third one as the one that I think my go-to. So I went with a tight portrait here. I might have had one that was better. I went back and forth. So you've got one really nice job on the foreground, obviously framed in there really well.
Yeah, it was just real rough light.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's exactly. I agree. It's okay. It was in Maine, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, if I lose to that one, I'll be a little upset. But anyway, okay, moving right along. So that's let me leave this up for a second.
That tight one on the hemlock is sweet. I just saw it.
Yeah, it's okay. Like it's nice. I do shoot these quite a bit because I have a nice patch of them up north. So it's not and they're a low hanging bird. They're not up in the trees usually.
Sure.
So once you find them, and I think the difficulty is really finding them. You get the habitat. You will get some decent looks at them. So
just I tend to get time, right?
I tend to get pretty good eye level looks. Cerulean, you win. I did not shoot a Cerulean this year.
Okay.
So
I only remember which one I put in.
Yeah, by default, Ray gets
the
this
maple.
one. Yeah, it's a Cerulean on maple. Really nice composition. Nice framing. Chestnut-sided. This is. I don't remember seeing this one.
Which one?
Your Chestnut-sided. Yeah, this is. I think this one's going to be.
That's an update because it's another Maine bird.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be close. Your background is super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, much different look. It almost. And I know. Listen, I know this isn't Photoshop. It almost looks Photoshopped because the background you never see like these solid yellow backgrounds on a bird. So, do you want to talk about that background? What that is?
Yeah. So, early morning light hitting just some green trees in the background. Bird was in the shade though. So, white balance for the bird. because of those cooler tones, and then the background just goes crazy warm yellow because it's got that golden sun hitting it. So it was just some green leaves and everything like that, and trees in the background, pretty far away, obviously, because it's just that solid color. And yeah, when I first shot it straight out of the camera, the bird is like blue and the background is kind of a green tone. But then when you actually dial in the white balance for that bird in the shade, that background just turned yellow, and it was really nice.
Yep. There's a I'm going to reference because I like to give some love to people. When you shoot a bird like Ray did in the shade, now it takes.
Oh, this is the Brad James lighting.
Yep, exactly where I was going. Yep. So you shoot the bird in the shade. Now it does take a little bit of post processing, right? Because a lot of times you have to try to even out the exposure a little bit, or did you find that you had to pull up the shadows?
Exposure was really good on this one, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of light because he was out in the open, so he was getting hit pretty good with an amount of light, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, sometimes you do have to kind of really lighten them up.
Yeah. So go to Brad James on Instagram or wherever he is. I think he's one of the better waterfowl photographers in North America. He's really, really, really good. But he uses this lighting a lot, where he'll put the duck. And it's easier to do with ducks because you kind of know what the background is, and you kind of know when the shade hits the water in a certain area. But he's got it dialed in. So he gets these really exciting backgrounds with really bright colors, and he puts the waterfowl right into those colors. And I would imagine it's the same technique where he's using shade and sun to his advantage. So.
Yeah, I texted him the shot right after I took it.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. We both thought the exact same thing about the exact same person. All right, so that's chestnut-sided. Common yellow throat. I'm going to go a little different on mine. So you've got a really well-marked adult male, and I've got a juvenile, which very rarely do I think that represents the species best. But this one, I think, played better in terms of composition. So I had some males that I liked, but I'm going to go with this juvenile because I love this as a native, cone flower. So I really love that.
Oh, yeah, I remember this shot.
Yep. And then you've got some touches of like purple in yours in the background.
Yeah, shot of the marsh. Yeah.
Yeah, nice light on it.
Dude, I vote for yours out on these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I really like on yours too? The pyramid of flowers, and he's on the top. Like that's like it's not like standard leading lines, but they're leading lines.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like that some flowers are out of focus, but you could definitely you get a sense of it. There's a bunch of flowers in the far background out of focus, so you don't really get a sense of. And there wasn't a lot of them, but it's a very vibrant field. I love it. This field. It's one of my favorite fields.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. The only problem I have with this field is you only get like 3 species. So
gotcha.
You're shooting the same thing in the same field all the time. But it's a beautiful place. I like to visit there late June, early July. Things are really popping there. All right, so common yellowthroat, hooded warbler. This is going to be whoa! Where does my hooded warbler? Wait, I might have gone out of order.
Mine's a little.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, apparently
my
I'm not good at the alphabet, so I put my.
Well, mine is that way because Lightroom does it for me, so that made it easier.
All right, so Ray's got a very classic. I would say this is really classic in terms of your composition.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So nice composition. I went with an action shot. Well, not an action shot, but he was
just kind of plain.
Yeah, it's just my bird was taking off, so he's perched on this little leaf. But I really liked this pose. He's kind of looking back, and he was on this perch, and like literally the next frame, he's leaving the perch blurry because his head's out of focus, and then the next perch he's gone. So this one, and his tail's kind of flared out as he took off. So I'll leave that.
And that's more of a classic one of your shots too, just like that super clean background. Yeah.
All right. Oh,
that's a tough one. Yeah, I think we gave the audience something challenging on that.
Oh, hold on. You didn't shoot a golden wing warbler.
Nope. That one.
That's why I skipped over it. Okay.
Yeah.
I win.
Yep, you win.
So I'm going to put this up so you can see my winner. I'll hold it there and talk
I saw you just scrolling through it, but I need to take it in a little bit more.
Yeah, there you go. You got it? Got a good view?
I will in about 15 seconds when the delay
ends. On this one. All right. All right. I got to take every little gimme I can get.
Yeah.
All right. So this is, so we're going to go to Louisiana water thrush.
Yeah.
Did you have would you say you had a pretty good year with Louisiana water thrush?
I didn't start out great. My normal starting spot, the river there, they actually, for whatever reason, I read because of COVID, they opened up the fishing season early.
In PA, they did.
I didn't understand why. Did you ever hear why? Yeah, because I shoot them in PA, actually.
Nope. Don't know the logic, but they definitely did, and it screwed me up too.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Like the spot that I normally shoot them, there was just fishermen all over the place. And so, but I did end up finding some really good spots later on in the year. And the one I'm sharing here is actually from North Jersey on just some really, really sweet backlight that morning. It gave the shot a lot of drama, so I was happy with that.
Okay. And Toby said, by the way, Tobias Yoder's on here. Give him a follow on Instagram.
Definitely.
I mean, there's no doubt for a young photographer, he's the kind of kid.
Oh, he's annoying. He's so good.
He gets so mad at him. He's like, I don't know how old, 17, 18 years old.
It's just stupid.
Super creative. Really, really good. So Toby, we hate you, but give him a follow on Instagram at Tobias Yoder.
And we didn't put in the survey the birds that only one of us have. Because
we may have made a mistake and added them, but I think if one of us just won, we know at the end that they get the points.
Yeah, we'll tack that in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So different looks. Yours is a
Very
little
different.
bit like backlit-ish, side-lit-ish. Mine's pretty standard in terms of like a Louisiana composition, just sitting on a rock.
Yep.
Nice I only shared 3 of these so far this year. I took a whole series of these early in the season.
That's not my favorite of yours either.
Yeah. Well, let me show. Well, shit. I can't cheat. Like all right, this is the one I'm going with. Like I
mean, I'm not going to tell you which my favorite is right now,
I went back and forth on this one. Like somebody's probably out there like, yeah, I would have voted for the other one if you left that up, but I'll put this one up. Yeah. I did some different things. I did some slow shutter with Louisiana water thrush this year.
So did I.
So I played around a little bit. Yeah, I was real close to putting a slow. That would have been funny if we both did that.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
If you look on YouTube right now, there's the one I should have put in. All right, I'm leaving this one up. All right, so that's Louisiana water thrush. All right. Ooh.
What do we got next?
Sweet magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got 2 of them. Ooh. Well, I got one in hemlock. You got one in spruce.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Back
spruce.
In Maine
red
again.
Spruce, maybe.
I have no idea.
So this was in Maine.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you went up there. Tell them real quick. You went up for a few days.
I was 5 days up there, just camping? Suffering in the heat.
Yeah, and you picked literally the hottest month ever in Maine.
Just brutal, man. There was one time I went out to hike and I felt physically ill. And I'm just like, I have to turn back and go back to the car. Yeah. Like I just couldn't go anywhere. But in between the early morning, late evening, I got some shooting in, and then the last day was decent with weather. I forget when I took this sometime in the middle of the trip, but so in New Jersey, it's really hard to find breeding magnolia. I don't even know. There's very few spots. I've never found a breeding magnolia in Jersey consistently anyway. And then I go up to Maine and they're just falling out of the trees everywhere.
Wow.
Just everywhere I turn. Like there wasn't a spot that I went where it was just like you didn't hear a magnolia. It was awesome.
Yeah. And yours, I will say, both males, but yours is super, super marked. Like
he's
really
real
crisp.
Good looking. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when I shot mine. It might have been a little bit earlier in the year, but I'm just surprised looking at the difference in the 2.
Yeah.
How yours is marked. The throat is really well marked.
Yep.
So that's magnolia.
All righty.
Nashville Warbler. This one should be interesting because 2 very, very, very different looks.
Yeah.
You probably shot yours like in like direct light to get the dark background.
So it was actually full sun, but this was the shaded side of the tree. So it was another spruce with those like branches that really come out far from the center of the tree. Mm-hmm. So he was out in this soft shade of the tree. So it's a nice soft light, but the background, kind of the center interior of the tree was just full dark. And I did darken the blacks just a little bit in post, but I didn't have to go crazy with it. It was pretty close to how it was shot. So
gotcha. And mine was,
and you just hate this species, don't you?
Worst species in the world for me.
Yeah.
I go up, I got to go a little bit north around here in Pennsylvania. They tend to like boggy areas. So I have to go a little bit north, and it's now keep in mind when you're shooting warblers for golden hour, you're getting up at like 3 because the sunrise like 5:30. So if you've got a hike to get in, and I've got a hike to this spot about 30 minutes, well, maybe 20 minutes to get in. So, and it's an hour and a half or hour 15 north. So it's a pain in the butt to get up there for golden hour. And every time I go up there, these guys taunt me. I hear them in the trees. I see them. I can never, ever, ever get a clean look. This is the only clean look I've ever gotten. I did get really nice light on it. I did get some really nice first light on the bird. So that was nice. But this one has been a tough one.
Those birds are they're like the kinglet of the warblers. world, you know.
Yeah.
They're just nonstop moving. I mean, this was the first time I ever photographed them up there. And again, actually, so you need to get your ass up to Maine because, dude, it was like incredible up there, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. Yeah.
By the way, we're going to revisit Louisiana water thrush. I've made an executive decision as the host of the show.
Based on the comments?
Based off of comments and the fact that I do need help in this contest. So
right.
This is my official. So go back to the thing. And if you liked mine better now, change your answer. Help a brother out.
There you go.
All right. So I'm going with this one. This is my official.
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
I won't even complain.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So Nashville, got to be getting to the.
Parula.
Oh,
yeah.
I had two. Let me show you the two I had. I know which one I'm going to go with. But I had one that, like, on social media did really, I got a lot of like positives on the one I'm showing now, which is in this really different blue background. You just don't see this background often. And I am going to go with the one that I liked in terms of composition better. So this one was that really shallow depth of field. I shot this with a 400 millimeter at point blank, like 8 feet away. Okay. So I got that super shallow depth of field. Yeah, but I'm going to go with this one because I love the composition. I like that. This is the umbrella. The maple umbrella is the title of this one.
Those are always nice.
Would you like to title yours?
If you'd like I'll just let the photo speak for itself.
Okay. Okay, I got you. All right, so mine's still going to be called the maple umbrella, and I will let yours speak for itself. This is a species that you do really well with.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. I get to shoot them in the south and up north, and this is actually not my pet bird either. So this was a different spot. Yeah.
And then mine is taken. I shoot this normally every year with Mark. We've got, every now and then you find birds that are just, kind of in the same area. This one is in a really nice area. It hangs out on the side of a stream, and there's a lot of different perches. So Mark, I mention his name sometimes on the show. So Mark Strohl, Strohl, really, really good. He had a really good season with songbirds as well. Like he did. Last year, he didn't shoot as many. This year, he got out and he had a really good season. So follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Not the most social guy in the world, but a beautiful human. So,
this is a tough vote.
This is a tough one. You've got some wildflowers there.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. All right. Northern Water Thrush, you win. Love this one, by the way. That head on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, really nice. I don't see you do these head on often. And this one's a little, I wouldn't say it's a tight composition. A lot of people would call this small in frame, but for you, this is actually like when people tell you like, oh, I love that small in frame. And you're like, dude, this is not small in frame for what I do. Yeah. So you win Northern Water Thrush.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Ovenbird should be a tough one.
Yes.
Hoping. I've got Morning Warbler up, so I'm going to win Morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I found this is a tough species.
I know.
Really,
I looked for them.
Really tough species. So I only saw one this year, and I was able to get that one.
Was that the one up north?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm way out of seat. I'm so far out of focus. I had to skip past to get to my Ovenbird.
Okay.
All right. I got my Ovenbird up now, though.
I'm waiting to see it.
Again, I struggle with the alphabet sometimes. Like when I type.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think I'm dyslexic. So Ray's got the Ovenbird framed in here. Looks like some maple as well on this one. And then I've got a tighter shot. This would be, I think, if we would say like typical composition for me versus Ray, this is about right. That's about the dimensions and proportions I like when I do these tighter shots. So
that's really nice.
Yeah, I got some
foreground on that.
Foreground blur.
Money.
Yeah.
Had
a really this guy was really, really good for me. He hit this perch and he hit one other perch, but when he turned his head, just you're like telling him, like you've got him composed in the camera. You're like, just turn your head this way. Like you got to turn your head this way.
Yep.
And then they finally do it. You're like, that'll work. And he's got mine has the crown raised a little bit, which is also just a nice
which is bonus. Really nice. I struggled with Ovenbird this year. I never really, it's the same kind of thing as you with the black-throated green, right? They're everywhere down here. And it was just like, it's another Ovenbird, right? I never even really kind of worked on them. And then at the end of the season, you're like, shit, I don't have any good photos of these,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go on. And we're doing good with time too, so we may have some time at the end to kill.
We can tell more stories.
Yeah. All right. So hold on. I am so far out of. Did you opine? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go here. So you went with the repeated. It's getting a little redundant now with the Warbler breath, but that's fine. And I went with the real clad. This is actually I don't know if we didn't shoot these on the same day. I shot this with you on mine. I've got the pine on pine. So it'll come up for you in a minute.
Okay, so we both went pine on pine.
Yep. So you've got pine on pine. I've got pine on pine. I've got a tighter composition. You've got the breath. And again, I know it's a little bit hard on YouTube because we've got us on, and we've got the images are a little bit smaller because of that.
Yeah.
But this
that's nice. Yeah, we were shooting together when you shot that pine.
Yep. Yeah. Remember we got stuck in a torrential.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? Yeah, we were out there like, oh, it's just a short hike back. We'll make it. And you don't realize how far you've gone. Yeah. So we had hiked in like 15, 20 minutes. And we're like, it's just 5 minutes back to the car. We'll beat the storm. We get like 5 minutes in, and it's just pouring.
Yeah.
And then it stopped, and I think we went back out and shot a little bit more.
Yeah, kept shooting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's pine and pine. That one might be close.
Oh, prairie. These are going to be vastly different, I'm guessing.
I had two. I'm going to go. I was so, oh man. All right. I'm going to go with this one. I went with a very small in frame on I think this is a pitch pine. I could be wrong, but it's a small pine tree that was growing up. And then
it's going to be the long pine needles he's cleaned on it, right? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, those are. I had one of those too.
Yeah, you've got a back like mine. Actually, look like when I looked at mine, if I was scrolling through Instagram, I would have thought this was your image.
Gotcha.
Like just based off of composition and pose.
Oh
and
totally. Yeah, I love that. It just came up for me.
And then you've got one with the backlit wings, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was just dumb luck. Like I was shooting it backlit on the maple there, glowing. He was just sitting there perched, which was great. I was all happy with that. And then as I was firing a burst, he just took off, and he happened to fly vertically up in the same focal plane. I'm not gonna lie, he's not tack sharp. Like the eye isn't tack sharp, but the one back wing is sharp, and it's close enough. So
yeah.
Yeah,
somebody made a comment. I don't know who Michael D is, but he made a really funny comment about my I assume it's my pine warbler. It looks like it's a taxidermy.
Oh, yeah.
I have no, I haven't done that
before.
No. It's gonna make a joke about it, but you know how some bird effing person will listen to 2 minutes of the show, and I'll be hammered on social media for using dead birds. All right. Yeah. So that's prairie. That could be a tight one.
Yeah.
Prothonotary, you win by default. I wanted this one this year. I didn't even see one. Yeah, it's the first year I've never seen a prothonotary warbler. They're a little south of me. Normally I go down by Ray to get these because they're South Jersey and even southeastern Pennsylvania and down by the border of Pennsylvania and Maryland. There's pockets of these, but up near me, they are very rare to come this far north. So they normally don't breed this far north. But so you win prothonotary by default. Oh, small in frame.
I'll give you on this Tennessee. The only reason I hate that he's looking away, but I kind of like that he's feeding. Yeah. Like he's in that fun feeding pose.
Yeah. You're gonna win that. You're gonna win that one, and I don't love it.
Yeah,
I'm a little bitter about this one, but you got. Hey, listen, it's a tough bird around here because it's a migrant.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
And for those that are listening, with migrants versus birds that are in the area, migrants are generally feeding high in the trees. Foraging on any insects that are there. So they're not nearly as easy to photograph as birds that are kind of in the area, especially when they're comfortable and they might be around like low vegetation and stuff like that.
Well, and you usually get one shot. Like they're moving through, like all these other birds, you can go back and find
very,
again.
very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Well, good job on Tennessee. I normally get these in fall.
I'm looking forward to seeing yours. That hasn't come up yet.
You can't because I don't have one.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Cape May Warbler. I don't think I
did not have that.
I do win that one then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I did shoot a Cape May Warbler. I don't think I included it in the slideshow, but
okay.
So I'll get a point for that one. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Worm eating. All right.
Ooh.
You've got a really nice little.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
I am so unalphabetized. All right. So worm eat. I put Y before W somehow. All right. So. Your worm-eating warbler, super foreground blur.
Yes.
Framed, just barely framed in that like there's not a lot of margin for error here.
No, I had to really like dodge and move and find that pocket before he moved, like before he took off too,
Yeah.
Because he wasn't staying long.
And I think most people have probably listened to me and you enough to know that we shoot monopods largely for this reason, that if you're trying to shoot foregrounds as part of your compositions, it's very, very, very difficult to do with a tripod.
Oh yeah.
And it's not right or wrong. It's just a style. There's some of the best photographers I know shoot off tripods. So
sure.
I just like the ability, especially when you do a lot of foregrounds in your compositions, to have a monopod, because there's very small windows to shoot through sometimes.
Yeah, I love your shot. That's a really nice pose on him too.
Yeah, this
the green stands out nice too.
Yep, and that's a tulip, so that's a nice little Pennsylvania native tree there. It's a young one. But yeah, I like the pose on this one. Yeah, I like the pose on this one. Unfortunately, there are no bonus points for native plants, or maybe I'd get an extra point for this one.
Yeah.
I think this one could be close.
I would vote for mine, but I do like yours. So,
I would vote for mine. Okay.
All right. Good. Excellent.
Carry on.
Yellow.
Oh, this one should be good. I had two. I liked this one. The light was just money. I shot this with Mark Stroll.
Okay. Yeah, I'm anxious to see yours.
Yeah, so I've got this one in a crab apple with a lot of pink in it.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what the flowering tree mine is in, but yeah.
Somebody on the show will know.
Yeah,
pop that in.
I think somebody told me when I shared it, but I don't remember.
Yeah. I wonder if that's. Yeah, I don't know.
There was an entire like orchard of them though. It would look like it was like an abandoned orchard, and it was just. I mean, there was probably 20 of these trees just filled with white. So I was actually up in North Jersey, had finished up a half-day workshop in the morning. I'm driving back to my hotel. It's kind of getting later, and it was overcast, but it was getting later in the day. And I'm driving by this. I'm already tired, and I just see this field of trees. I'm like, ugh. I got a U-turn. I have to. And I go back, and then sure enough, instantly there's like multiple of them. I'm like, oh, this was so worth the stop. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think both pictures are actually a really good example of the species. This is a species that really likes these kind of flowering orchard areas.
Dude, that is a tough vote right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. Let me show you. I'll pop up my other one. I didn't like the color on it as much, but the light on my other one, I just wanted you to see it, is so like, oh my God, I just love the light on this one.
Yeah, but it's hard to pass a flowering tree.
Yeah, so I'm going to put this one in because I do like the pops of pink, but white works really well with this as well. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
That is.
All right, let's see. We go, I think we missed one. Yellow rump. All right. I've got... Oh, hold on. I had put in two. Yeah, I'm going to go. One is so much better marked. I had a migrating one early in the season. Gotcha. And then I had a breeding one up north. So, again, nice job with the foreground on this one. Framed her well.
Yeah.
I go with
that was up in Maine.
Okay. And I go with the lichen covered.
Ooh.
Yeah, paper. It looks like a birch with some lichen growing on it. And he's kind of popping his head out. So this is going to be a tough one. I don't know that people will like mine. I like mine a lot.
I do like that one.
Yeah, I do like that one. I wish.
So I shot the same thing. I shot that same bird, and you had the angle, man.
Yeah,
you had the angle on that one.
I didn't like this tree in the top left. I almost,
I would have ditched that. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't like to clone out that much. I don't mind cloning out like little parts, but I kind of felt like that's a lot.
Enough,
but yeah, I think if I would have known at the time that this was going to be in the contest, I may have taken the time.
I don't think it like kills the photo.
No, it's kind of off at the side. It's not really a distraction, other than I just think it would have looked better because the green's really pretty in the background.
It is. Yeah. Yep. But that was a great example of like I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 feet to your left,
and you don't get the shot really,
and the angle just didn't work the same for me.
Yep. All right, so we're getting to the end here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's good.
Yellow-throated.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's my Cape May. Somehow C is at the end of the alphabet now.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I won the point for that. Let me go back.
Yeah, here we had that in there.
Oh, these are again like two very different looks.
Sure.
I went with a real tight portrait. And
I was just pissed it wasn't cold enough to get breath on this one.
Yeah, and you went with the backlit with that bokeh. Explain so people understand how you get that bokeh in the background like that. Explain the direction you have to shoot for that.
There was about Well, the first thing is there's about a 10-minute window, if that, in the forest that gives you this background, like the potential for this background. So you have to find a bird and it has to be in the right spot in such a small window. So creating something like this is so damn hard. But early morning sunrise, it's filtering through the trees. So golden sun just filtering through the trees. This was real early. Yellow-throated show up early in the season here. So not a lot of leaves. In fact, I don't think there were many leaves at all on these trees. They were pretty bare. So the sun was coming through all these branches when it was pretty low in the sky. And so, I'm shooting straight into that sun. And for me on this, again, what Scott mentioned earlier, being on the monopod was really helpful because I was able to position myself and put that bird so he wasn't intersecting the kind of golden glow through those trees. He was down in a cleaner space, and then I kind of framed those bokeh balls around him. Yep. And it's totally something you can see through the lens when you're shooting it, so it's not like you're trying to guess. Like when he landed there, I focused on him, I can see that background, and then I start moving myself to get in the right spot, and then thankfully he posed nicely and gave me a little song there. But literally 10 minutes later and cannot find that light anywhere. Yep. It just is gone. So, and
if you were shooting this, just so people understand, if you shoot the same bird front lit, you don't get the bokeh, no matter regardless of the sun. So when the sun's at your back, it's impossible. There has to be something, a light source coming through the trees in order to get that. You can get the same look on water. So again, like you're shooting into the water. I know you do that a lot with waterfowl, and those little ripples on the water, those little bubbles, little dots, anything, all of those things. But when it works much better as you're shooting into the light rather than shooting with the light behind you. So you see, and we've talked about this before. You go to a lot of you'll see like how to shoot birds 101. And the guy is like, here's how you shoot birds. Oh, put the sun at your back, but you'll never get this look with the sun at your back. So it's just not physically possible. And then also just a heads up, and I know you and I talk about this a lot. Shoot lower shutter speeds than you think. Like practice on that. This was at 2/50th of a second, f4, 1400 ISO. So there was not a lot of light that morning. Yep. And if I was up at, I know a lot of people are like, I need 1,000th of a second. Well, my ISO would have been like way the hell up there. And it didn't need to be. So and there's with photography, there's always a give and take, and to get sometimes when we like to shoot songbirds, because we both like to do it first thing in the morning when they're more active. So if you get golden hour, that's great, but if it's overcast, it does require either a slower shutter speed, and again, the gear. A lot of times people think gear is everything, and I don't think it's everything, but where I see the advantage in gear is in these low light situations where you can shoot a 500 f4 as opposed to what a lot of people shoot, which is a 500 f6.3. And that's taking your noise up from, like 1,000 to 1,600 or 1,600 up to 2,500. Like it does add quite a bit of noise just in that. So it's not the depth of field so much as it is the ability to just open up the lens and get as much light as possible onto the sensor.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. All right, I think yellow-throated sums it up. So all right, so finish.
Wow, look at
that. Well, we're doing good on time. We're 50 minutes in. We try to keep it an hour, so we're doing good. I will tell you in the questions, in the comments rather, I'll run through the images, one more time.
Cool.
Let me see. I'll start at the beginning. Well, it might be too hard because I'm out of order. I can't believe how bad I am at stuff. So let's go. Okay, so here's my American Redstart and Ray's. So if you haven't taken the survey yet, go ahead and log on, figure out how to get to it, do whatever you need to do.
I'll drop a link to it again now.
Yeah, drop a link in there. We'll wait because some people are going to watch this on replay. I don't want to wait too long to complete the survey.
Yeah.
I don't think Ray will be able to sleep unless he knows he won or lost this, so we can't.
I'll sleep fine.
I don't think we can let him hang too much. So American Redstart. Ray took the Blackburnian. Black and white warbler, black-throated blue warbler, black-throated green warbler, Blackburnian warbler. That's going to be I'm curious to see who's going to win this one. When I saw yours, when you posted it, I thought it's unbeatable. Like I honestly thought that's an image that you just can't. It can't be beaten, but you never know. People may come through for me on that one. So black and white or black. Oh my gosh, blue winged warbler, Much different looks on that one.
Definitely on the blue wing. Yeah.
Yeah. Brewsters Warbler. Again,
Same there.
Very different looks.
Yep.
Canada. I think I did this one with Canada. Cerulean, you won that one.
Yeah.
Chestnut-sided.
Those were good.
Chestnut-sided could be good. Yours is pretty interesting.
It's a good combo.
Yeah. Common yellow throat.
I say vote for Scott on that one.
Yeah, I like that one. I think I might get that one.
Yeah.
I won the golden wing by default.
That's right.
Hooded. I'm guessing I'm going to take hooded. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to win many of these, but I think I'm going to take hooded.
Yeah, I think so. Mine's clean, but it's just boring. You know?
To be clear, Louisiana water thrush in the water. Just so we're clear. Magnolia, man, yours is pretty. God, that is a good looking bird.
It is. Yeah, they are gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep. Nashville could be tight.
Yeah.
Perul is going to be a good one. That's going to be a really good one.
Yes, that one is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah,
I assume that one's going to be close.
Yeah, water thrush, you win. I won morning warbler by default. Ovenbird here. So you're Ovenbird. Pine warbler here. Again, not taxidermy on the left. That is a live bird.
Anti-taxidermy.
That is a live bird. Prairie warbler.
I can confirm that. I was there.
Yeah. Prairie warbler. Prothonotary, you win. Tennessee, you win. Worm eating could be a good one. Two very different looks on that one.
Yeah, I think we both voted for ourselves on the worm eating.
Yeah, I like mine.
Yep.
I would stand by my decision to vote for mine. I have no problem voting for yours as much as it pains me. Yeah. But let me see. That puts us at yellow. Then yellow rumped. Yellow rumped could be tight. And then yellow throated, two very different yellow throated.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, after seeing these all, I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. It's going to be a little bit closer than I thought.
You thought you had it nailed.
Well, I just thought with how much time I spent in the field this year, compared to this was the first year I was just out there so much,
Yeah.
I thought that alone was going to give me the easy upper hand, but it worked out well.
Anything on before we log off? We've got a few minutes, so go ahead in the comments. If you have any questions about songbird photography in general, warblers in general, anything like that, let us know. I'm going to skim through comments. I don't know if you're skimming through.
I have been, yeah. There was a little bit of talk of the lower shutter speeds.
Yep.
Somebody saying they usually don't go below 3/20th, and Tobias had a great suggestion there. Is once you get that first shot at a higher shutter speed, then if the bird's still there and cooperative, start lowering it, start playing around, and push yourself and see how low you can go and get away with it. Sometimes you may surprise yourself, and if not, then all right, hey, here's the lowest shutter speed I can try.
Yeah. What would you say if you were shooting songbirds comfortably? Without really pushing it, is 2/50th about the lowest you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
My walking around shutter speed is 500th of a second. That's just in the middle of the day, plenty of light. I'm still at 500th of a second. Keep that ISO down. That's plenty of shutter speed for me. But when it gets lower, I'll go 250. And then if it's really dark, it's early morning, I'll drop lower than that. No problem.
Yep. Roz, I assume this has to be my friend Rozer. I call her Rozer on Instagram. I have to assume that's it. Can't be too many Rozes out there. She wants to know what the winner gets. I don't know that we decided. So
I don't think we did. Yeah.
Before seeing the results, is there an official bet on the table?
Ooh. We'll have to think about that.
Yeah. I don't know. We should have decided on something because clearly
we should have.
Clearly it's fun to beat you.
I think it would probably be the loser has to post photo in their Instagram feed that cannot be removed saying how great the winner is.
Okay. or you just have to concede. You have to say, okay, I lost to Ray Hennessy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But it can't be a story. It's got to be in the feed and it just sits there.
We had a great bet one time. I bet Adam Stunkel, another really good photographer in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, that was a good
We had a bet on the Super Bowl. And if the Eagles won, he was so convinced they would lose. If the Eagles won, he had to post one of my images and hang it in his house for a year. Now, I don't think he ever did, that son of a bitch. He should have.
I thought
that was a good bet.
I remember you sent the photo down, right?
Yeah, maybe he did.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, maybe he did. I just thought it was I just thought it was a good bet because for somebody like Adam who's real competitive and just a hilarious guy, knowing that my image he had to look at it every day in his house was just hilarious. So anyway.
Well, so do we put a timeline on how long it's got to sit in the feed or just indefinite?
I would say I think it's got to sit there like at least a month maybe.
Yeah.
Like 30 days. It's got to sit in your feed for 30 days.
All right.
And you have to admit that the other person is a better photographer. Like that has to be, the wording has to be similar to that.
Okay. Yep. I like that. Right. That sounds like a good one.
Mark says, who worries about noise anymore? Denoise, Topaz Denoise. I'm a big advocate. I know you started to play around with it a little bit.
I started using it a little bit more too. Definitely improved over the noise reduction I was doing in Lightroom.
Yep.
But I still would say, just like any noise reduction and or sharpening, like you got to do it in layers and do it selectively because it will screw up parts of the image sometimes. So just be careful with it.
Yeah, if you're in there, and again, like if you have questions about denoise,
but it's damn good.
Yeah, send me a private message on that, and I can give you a couple pointers on my. I didn't plug Patreon. I try to plug it once in a while, but I'll plug it here on my Patreon site. I have some videos about denoise and how you can kind of play around with it to help out. So. All right. Any other questions? Let me just scan real quick and see if anything else came through. Really nice audience. Thank you, guys.
Somebody asked, somebody asked, do we ever use Flash? We both know photographers that use Flash for Warblers and do really good. But if I'm not mistaken, Scott, both of us just don't care. We don't use it at all. I never use it.
The only, and it's not that I have tried it. There are a couple situations I would, specifically if the background is really, really bright and you're shooting intentionally into the sun and you just can't get the exposure on the bird, you kind of need to fill it in. So I would do that there. But no, generally no. I do use a flash on some of my macro photography, but again, I like natural light. I like the way it looks. I like to play around with it, and I think there's a challenge there. Flash is also, I shouldn't say like natural light is more challenging. Flash photography is extremely challenging. To really master the levels and to get the angles right. But when I find with a subject, I posted a spider about a week ago in my Instagram feed. So if anybody looks back, I used a flash for that. But I find with birds, I don't. But with macro, it's fun to play with because the subject often doesn't move. Like that spider's in one spot, so I can move the flash around and kind of play around. Sure. You were a wedding photographer. So
I know Flash inside now. Yep. I know how to use off-camera Flash really well and everything, but same thing, I just prefer to work with the natural light. And I feel like Flash would kind of limit me in, I like to shoot small in frame, which means the birds are farther away. Well, the Flash isn't going to do anything when I'm shooting some of these things that far out, So it would force me to have to try and get closer to take advantage of that. And I think it can be totally fine in some of the images I've seen, as long as it's not like obnoxiously over flashed. Like that's the time where I'm just like, I don't think it works at all is when it looks flashed. But when it's mixed nicely, then I think it's fine.
Yeah. And you can use it to freeze images. So you can do some really creative stuff with Flash.
Hummingbird stuff. Sure. Yeah.
Yep. So if you want to freeze images, Flash works really, really well. Josh Galicki's name was mentioned. If you don't follow Josh Galicki, honestly, I think Ray and Josh are my personal two favorite bird photographers.
Yeah, he's like incredible.
Yeah, he's so good, and I think birds is his passion. He does a lot of other stuff, but if you're not following Josh Galicki,
he'll be on the podcast soon. So he's one of our guests we have scheduled. So
he's amazing. Yeah, he's really good. I'm trying to get him on the show. He's really good at teaching as well. He's a good speaker.
Sure.
I've got him on the show. We haven't come up with a good topic yet, but he'll be on the show. I'm sure by the end of the year as well here. So
nice.
Yeah, really good. All right.
I think that's it, man.
We're 1 hour in. I don't see any other questions. Really great audience. Thanks for all the it was fun seeing the comments scroll through too.
Really good chat today.
Yeah, a lot of interaction on the live chat. So thank you guys for that.
Appreciate it.
Ray, anything you want to you got anything coming up or
nothing specific. I do have a couple of openings left for me, hands down, my favorite shorebird workshop of the year, which is fall shorebirds. I take you out. We kayak out into a marsh. Scott, you're gonna come do this next week.
Yep.
And he's not gonna workshop with me. just to be clear. We're shooting just for fun. But yeah, I'll kayak you out into a marsh. We're going to actually be in the water for half of it. Very challenging shooting, but very rewarding. Some of the best backgrounds around for shorebird photography, wide variety of stuff. So if you might be interested in that, certainly get in touch. But outside of that, nothing specific scheduled. Just always hit the website. I have a bunch of workshops running all year long to come out and work with me one-on-one. And I also have a lot of mentorship stuff. So if you're not local and want to do some work online, then hit me up. It'll be great.
And you're check out Ray's feed on his loons. He ran a loon workshop that was phenomenal. I mean, it was really, really top notch. I saw some of the images from the clients, and they were just phenomenal. So great job with that. And I want to remind you why I haven't gone back to that spot, because 3 years ago, the worst photography day of my life.
This is true. Yeah. So we got to redo
that. Get up at 3 a.m, drive 2 hours, take 0 pictures, dunk your camera in the water, cost you a couple $1,000, and drive. Imagine driving home.
I cannot
for
actually
2 hours, 2.5 hours, knowing that you just ruined your equipment because you absolutely submerged it in the water. So I haven't been back to that. So I'm hoping that the gods repay me and that they will be fortunate to us, if we get out there soon. So anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. All right. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to play this little outro thing that we do.
Sounds good.
I'll say good night to everybody. You guys have a great night. Yep. And here we go.